All right, here we go. So we're playing some zombies, and here's another match where I almost lost the time limit loss, but my opponent ended up quitting. I would not have been able to pop off a full combo, but I would have gotten off enough to where I could basically end my turn early and then just let my opponent do whatever. So I ended up milling a ton of cards, and one of the reasons why the timer got really low on this particular match is because I milled a lot of cards. So I milled 36 cards right here before I make my first play, 15 out of my opponent's deck, and it looks like they're playing Dragon Maids. Now, they weren't going to be able to summon a single one of these Dragon Maids, if I'm being honest with you, because of the way that I was going to actually play this particular match. So let's look at what I actually milled and why I'm saying that. So I hit Scythe. Scythe would have Scythe locked him if I chose to do that. Had much better plays than Scythe locking him anyways. I also hit Diviner of the Herald, so I could start milling on their turn. I also hit the Hela. Hela could swap monsters out. I also hit Doom King. Looks like I also hit Exchange of Spirit. I hit Kelbeck and Agito. There's Agito there, and then I also hit the Soul Absorbing Bone Tower, and then this card right here, brutal, brutal, brutal Floodgate. My opponent would not be able to do anything, and I can actually special summon this out on my opponent's turn, and I'll show why I say I can do that. And then when I milled this card, I actually hit both of these at the same time, so I had the option to choose between these two. And I looked into my opponent's deck to see what they were playing, and of course, I saw that they were playing Dragon Maids, so I was just like, I want to rivalry lock them. I would prefer to do rivalry lock plus to stop them from being able to special summon with this card on their turn. That way, they would have to choose. Okay, do we clear out the back row? Do we clear out the front row? What's the priority here? And either way, they weren't going to be able to summon anything. So um, they'd basically be able to just normal something, and then after that, they can't really do anything. So um, we were going to do that, and then also we had protection. So if they were to normal something to beat over the Fossil Dyna, or even if they hit Raigeki or something like that, they weren't going to be able to destroy it because we did hit that. We also hit the Bone Tower, which mills 2 cards. They only got 20 cards left in their deck here, so if I brought this out and then start popping off, we'll count how many summons I do, and that would tell you if this would have decked them out or if they would have even had enough cards to have any kind of follow up themselves. We hit Eldritch, which can act as like ways to clear out back row from my side or their side. If I got something back here that I want to clear out, and it does pop up actually. That actually does happen. There's times where you draw this card in your hand and you want to clear it off the field, or you draw it in your hand and you want to get it out of your hand. You can use Eldritch to do that. Then we also hit Eradicator. Now, if I had hit this sooner, and it was able to set it, I would have actually set Eradicator over Rivalry, because basically Eradicator makes it to where they can't play their spells. Most decks can't just play only monsters. Like if you hit their spells and then you put monster floodgates out, they can't do anything. Like they're stuck. So I mean they could play traps, but they have to wait a whole turn for the to be able to flip those traps over. So Eradicator would have been absolutely devastating. Let's see. Then we also hit Gozuki. Gozuki is going to activate right here, and it'll allow me to summon out Changshi. Changshi, once this card activates, and they're activating their effects. Once this card activates, I can send another zombie from my deck to the graveyard, which I end up sending Mizuki. Now, instead of activating Mizuki right here, what I should have done is actually activated the Mad Mauler. This card right here would drop this card's level down by 6 or down by 2, and then summon itself out, and I can use the Mad Mauler to go into a level 6 synchro. The level 6 synchro that I have here would actually do the exact same effect as the Changshi, which is to send another zombie to the graveyard. So I would have had 2 Mizukis in the graveyard. The thing is, I just didn't have enough time to look through this graveyard extensively to see that I had milled Mad Mauler, or when I activated it right here, I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. But that would have given me two Mizuki summons. Two Mizuki summons. And I think I still end up doing that anyway, so it didn't even matter. So I activate Xiamen, Foxy Tune, and then go into Chaos Ruler. Now, for whatever reason, I thought it would be a good idea to actually send back my Kelbeck, Agito, and all of that stuff. Which I should have just kept all of that in the graveyard before committing to the plays to mill more, so then that way I wouldn't hit the same cards again, which is exactly what I ended up doing. I ended up hitting Agito again, so I shouldn't have done that, but it's okay. And then I get hit with the Nibiru right here. But lucky for me, I can continue to extend. So I go ahead and start extending with the Chaos Ruler right here. Then I bring out Mad Mauler. Mad Mauler will allow me, well, I was going to go into a level 10 Synchro, and the Zombie Dragon Lore would have been absolutely devastating for my opponents, because then I could have brought back whatever monster I wanted from my graveyard. More than likely, I would have brought out some super powerful Floodgate, and that would have locked my opponent from being able to do anything on their turn. Plus, I already had the Rivalry plus Zombie World, so they weren't going to be able to do anything. So, yeah. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the video. Peace.